next guest shouldn't need any introduction either. We've all come to know and love Miss Lotoya. She's been great for us over the last few years, and then I found out that she really likes coming to see y'all for some reason. So take it away for ASHE up there, please.
Well, thank you, Terry. I appreciate that introduction, and I do enjoy coming to all of the chapters in my region. My name is, I'm sorry. You didn't have to give this disclaimer, Jonathan, but I have to give a disclaimer saying that.
Jonathan's special.
Oh, he's special. Oh, yeah, and he's actually ASHE staff.
Terry got that right.
Okay. So basically, I'm not even going to read this. Oh, I know I'm standing between lunch, so I'm going to make it quick. And honestly, not because I'm rushing, because Jonathan, No, I'm not taking my time. And Dino, am I saying? Yes. And George did a great job with a lot of updates or things that ASHE are working on, so I don't have much to show in regards to that spectrum of it. But my disclaimer, basically ASHE and American Hospital Association said, it's Lotoya's fault. It's not their fault for anything I say during my presentation. I'm going to do the best of my ability to get through it without leading you wrong. That's what it says. Okay, I'm Lotoya Beard. As I said, I am representative, the advisory board representative for Region 4 for ASHE. That includes Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, and Alabama. And I have some islands. I hope they allow me to go to those islands. I know, I keep begging for it. This year, I'm on Mike Hatton's, because he's the president right now. I'm seeing if he can help me, because anyway, so I'm gonna try to make that happen. But my real job is, is the executive director of hospital maintenance at UAB Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. So my ASHE journey, it may have clicked when I said UAB Hospital. It had Ralph Graham involved in it. Ralph Graham was my leader for my department when I first started at UAB, and he led me and others on our management team in the direction of being members of ASHE. Like, that was his requirement. You are not working for him without being an active member of ASHE. We had the benefit of UAB paying for our membership, so that was great, but he used it against us every day. When we had staff meetings, he would bring up articles from HFM and ask us, what did you read? What was your thoughts on it? He made it very interactive for us, and everybody was like, wow, we're learning so much from the resources that ASHE has given us through the newsletters, the publications, and just meeting other members within the organization. So, as I mentioned about the American Hospital Association, they have 5 different professional membership groups within their organization, and they fall under environmental care, like EVS services, risk, supply chain, strategy, and marketing. But ASHE is the largest PMG within the American Hospital Association professional membership organizations. We have the estimate is 13,000 members. And what you do day to day is the mission of ASHE, they're dedicated to optimizing the healthcare facility environment. That's what we do day to day as engineers in our healthcare facility environments. Here are key members of ASHE staff. We have a few new faces on there. Christina's new as our ASHE member engagement. And if you have a lot of chapter engagement in the quarterly chapter meetings, you would see Jenny Hull, a part of that, as well as Tracy. But I think everyone is pretty much familiar with our executive director, Lizzie, and Chad Beebe. I don't know anyone that doesn't know Chad, for real, like, regardless of what spectrum of compliance or regulatory you're aware of. And Adam Bazer, part of our education. He's over our education. Supporting with advocacy. As everyone mentioned before, like everyone mentioned, as in George and Jonathan and Dino in their presentations, how ASHE was the driving force behind all these advocacy efforts. Getting information, being that frontline organization to represent us, to ask these organizations, hey, what are we going to do for our members, for our people out there that need to implement these regulatory and compliance requirements? They've come together, work in a unified effort to make sure that we're all on the same page and understand what we need to do to remain compliant. So I'm going to go into an effort right now a framework that ASHE has put together to help us in our day-to-day, I would say like succession planning or creating a pathway for us to succeed in what we do. And they're supporting the profession through, well, I go back, ASHE's core competency framework. Is anyone familiar with that? Good, and you supported it, right? So ASHE created a core competency framework that I would say is a roadmap to your success of being in the healthcare facility management world. It created the model, the different core competencies that you should succeed at or gain knowledge from to be competent for your role, or others if you want to provide this information to others. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. So what is the ASHE core competency framework designed to do? As I mentioned, it's helping us develop the next generation, creating, like everybody has that thought of like, someone, I think it was George earlier saying, how can you get people outside of the healthcare world into the healthcare world? This is the roadmap that was created to do that. It's giving all the education, the publications, the resources at your fingertips, be it on a computer, to gain access to that information of, no, these are the items I need to learn. These are the items I need to dedicate my time to so that I can be a healthcare facility manager. Going through this framework, you're connecting with other professionals within an organization. You're learning, gaining a relationship so that you can move forward and have a resource, not just the education you're learning from ASHE, but also like you're doing here, building that camaraderie and gaining access to information. And as you learn more, it supports your path to gaining your required or may be required, depends on your organization, credentials that you're needing to show that you are competent to do what you're supposed to do. The certifications listed at the bottom are the Healthcare Physical Environment Worker Certification, the MECH, the Mechanic Evaluation and Certification for Healthcare, and the Certified Healthcare Facility Management Certification. I have a story about those, and I'm going to get it in some future slides I'll show you. But what are the categories? I just took a screenshot of the website, and when you go to the website, I'm going to have it come up shortly, a QR code so you can go to it. You see all the core competencies. You see the compliance. You can literally click on this and everything. I'm going to show you on the next slides, but each one is selectable. You see compliance, you have sustainability, finance, energy management, administration, assessing risk, project management, and maintenance and operations. These are all the models within the core competency that they've broken up healthcare facilities management in to give you direct education, resources as publications. You either, the education, it could be in person, on demand, or live at different conferences or meetups, or like your chapter could say, hey, I want ASHE to come in and focus on maintenance and operations. And they will have ASHE staff and other ASHE members come in, subject matter experts come in and teach you specifically on those framework efforts. So here we go. That's the QR code for the ASHE core competency framework if you would like to go to it, because I'm just going to go through some of the slides that shows what do you see when you click on each one. Compliance. You learn about mastering policy, procedure development, maintaining appropriate permit programs for your organization. All that is available as a resource under compliance. See the featured resources, they have it broken down, so when you click on that, it shows you a list. This is not limited to this, but there's options to go see more and see all the different programs that ASHE has catered to that specific framework. Training resources. You see, for compliance, they have the NFPA 101 Chapter 43 Building Rehabilitation Education, medical cylinder storage requirements training. This is something that you can have for yourself or your staff members. And as being a member of ASHE, or you don't have to be a member to gain access to this, but you do get a discounted rate on different publications and tools that they have. A big benefit of being a member of ASHE is having access to monographs, which are condensed, Terry, they're the condensed version of what you're trying to learn. They're typically free as a member. You can download them, and they're great resources for quick learning of different things. I know a big one for me was the USP, the pharmacy requirements. That was something that we were definitely sharing around our organization. And as I said, I was just going through showing you the screenshot of every framework so you can have an idea when you go to the website yourself. Under sustainability, same thing, featured resources, training resources, the different publications and tools under sustainability. They basically took out the legwork of you having to Google something and identify it yourself. It is set up for success, so you can easily see each representation of the framework. Finance, great way for you to learn especially under finance, learn ways to translate what you have to say to leadership. Instead of you just coming out saying, hey, I need to replace this capital piece of equipment, giving you the buzzwords that's needed, that leadership loves to hear, that help you get the approval that you need for your pieces of equipment, or knowledge you need personally just to manage your budgets and finances. Different resources available. As I said, each slide is just showing the supportive information on the website for each category. Energy management, benchmarking, all that is, and commissioning plans, they're on the website. I'm gonna go through administration. As I said, this is another section too that helps you manage your department and learn those buzzwords, learn those items you need to show your leadership. Training resources, administrative publications and tools, assessing risks, your ICRA 2.0, different procedures, fire management, fire safety management, all different type of management plans and programs. They are located under this as a resource and tool as well under this framework. ICRA 2.0 training, which beat to death. Project management, same thing. PICRA, ICRA, ILSMs, information you would like to learn or teach others. All right. Maintenance and operations, a big one, maintenance operations, is, let me see the name of it. It's a book that has been it's not on here, but again, here's the URL, the QR code for the core competency framework. If anyone missed it the first time, I wanted to come back up here. I wanted to get to the book's publication since we've gone through the core competency framework together. So, how can your organization get started with using a framework? You can start by becoming an active member of ASHE, gaining access to a lot of resources and tools that's on the website. You could become a member yourself and just have access to the wealth of knowledge that ASHE has on their website. You can also, if you find that you are a SME in something special like compliance, risk assessments, you feel like you want to contribute, you can also do that as well. We later, as I go through the slide, I have ASHE email address and contact information so you can sign up to be a contributor, because that's how we grow this information. That's how we learn more, because different perspectives, different insight, that's what we all are here for, to help one another. You don't want someone to go through the same struggles you've gone through. On your team, again, you can have like internal lunch and learns with your team. Everybody bring their own lunch and review different articles, different items from the framework, so you can learn and share that information together. So as I said, get started today by going to that's the URL spelled out, ashe.org/core. That's how you can always get to that core competency website, is through ashe.org/core. All right, education and publications. I wanted to go through real quick. As I mentioned, the different formats of education, in person, live, on demand, but I wanted to share some insight of my personal journey of how I use these resources. This right here is, I took a screenshot of all the books that all the new leaders on my team, when they come, I give them a copy of every book that I have on here. I use it as a resource, and not saying it challenges them, to say they're not capable or limited to do what they do, but this is what we do everything for. Everything in these books have helped give the why, or answer the 5 whys that come behind every question for my team members. And I have a URL at the end of this that I'm going to provide everyone here with a copy of the electronic copy of Introduction to Healthcare Facilities Management. So if you fill that out, yeah, you get a book, So if you fill it out correctly, then I will get you,
You said correctly.
yes, yeah. Make sure you spell your email address correctly. It's going to be at the end. I'm going to have a form for you to fill out. But I will get, Corey promised me, Jonathan, in case you're checking me, Corey promised me she would get me copies, electronic copies to everyone that I could provide their contact information. So that's a good thing. But as I said, those books are a wealth of knowledge, and they're very helpful. I mean, just think about maintenance management for healthcare facilities. They didn't have that when y'all started working, did they? Exactly. And can you imagine taking this book and giving it to someone? I don't give it to necessarily all my leaders either. If I have a guy on my team that said they're interested in becoming a leader one day, I give them this book. Because it doesn't have to necessarily be at my facility, but I want them to invest in their future and see what it takes to maintain a facility. All right. I'm going to go through. And again, monographs. Hear what I was saying again. What Terry Bowman was saying, that these monographs are very helpful. This is the direct website to get to those monographs. And HFM, do you know it, Jonathan, we're speaking to that article they wanted to give access to. You know you don't have to be an ASHE member to get these magazines. You don't have to, so I need to see everybody writing these down, because this is a great wealth of knowledge, access to knowledge that the industry is having, at your peers, people that are running hospitals, healthcare facilities all throughout the United States that are writing on their experiences, and you learn from those. This is the website to subscribe. You get a 2-year subscription for free that I'm aware of right now. It is hfmmagazine.com/subscribe. So please subscribe so that you could get that access to information in the industry. And also, if you're an active member of ASHE, if you get that publication, you can read the articles and have that count, and complete a survey and have that count towards continuing education as well. All this information, all these tools, and as you saw earlier, what Joint Commission is requiring too, are helping us work towards certification options that ASHE has. Here's the healthcare physical environmental worker certification. This one is popular for a lot of contractors that you want to come in your facility. Instead of saying, hey, everybody in your town saying, hey, I provide a service, I want to work here. Well, this is what proves you want to work in my hospital. And they also give them identification cards to say, hey, I'm a holder of this certification, to show you that, hey, I don't have to go through all the, well, of course you want to review your procedures and policies with your contractors, but when you speak to it, when you ask them about these PICRA, ZICRA, containment, they know what you're talking about. It's not something you have to teach them from scratch, because they're familiar with the procedures and policies because they've completed that certification. And then as a construction worker, I've heard, Terry, we were talking about it yesterday, you were saying you're not hiring a GC unless they come in with their CHC certification.
That's what I've been trying to push for and all over the years and everything, to make sure that they're at least a CHC, got somebody on staff that's a CHC to understand that. But I even made my project manager years ago guide it that way. When Kyle and everything is now running another hospital, he got his CHC. I'm working right now with my project manager that's in-house with me at Cogwood to get his CHC, because it's very important.
Correct.
That information there of how you've got to do things and everything. If the contractor really wants to work in healthcare, they should be looking at knowing that information right there.
Agree. And that's the same thing that we're saying to our organization when we obtain our different, it could be CHOP, it could be CHFM. We're saying, hey, we respect the industry. We want to show we know what we're talking about. We're competent to do what we're supposed to do. And I just want to share a quick story about the MEC certification. They could say MECH or the senior MECH. In our facility, all our major system supervisors are the craft supervisors. We call them major system supervisors. They all have their credentials. For instance, if you're a plumber, a major system supervisor, you have your 60-40, you have your 60-10 even. You have your gas fitter certification, you're a master plumber. Electrician, you're NICET, our supervisor, NICET 3. They have all their certification, they're a master electrician. When it came to HVAC, the only thing that we had, of course they have their EPA universal card, but we didn't really have it outside of being a state contractor, recognized state contractor. There was nothing that they had that could benefit us. So we said, hey, to show that you're equal to the others, not that they're not you, but to show that their competency for healthcare, we had our supervisor, HVAC supervisor, obtain their senior mechanic evaluation and certificate for healthcare, and that also equal to a monetary incentive. Because that was another tier, it was like education. It was another tier of certification, yes, to elevate them to show, hey, I deserve to work in a healthcare facility. I'm not saying that necessarily equals incentive, monetary incentive for everyone, but it's something to show the value of your worth in your facility. And as I mentioned, here's that card for the physical worker certification. Oh, upcoming in ASHE in-person opportunities. There's the Healthcare Facilities Innovation Conference upcoming July 27th through the 30th in Columbus, Ohio. Then the ASHE Academy, September 15th through the 19th in Chicago. And next year's PDC is going to be March 8th through 11th through Houston, in Houston, Texas. I will say the ASHE Academy is a great way to complete your in-person training because it's specific to what line of work you focus in. For instance, facility manager, or you could be a healthcare construction worker, IP, physical environment, and the physical certification worker and healthcare certification. They even have the free exam for that at the end of that ASHE in-person academy, but you can pick your package based on what specialty you're in. For instance, if you're a facility manager bundle, you're of course coming in doing concentrated training on NFPA 101, 99, then you're going to go through like your survey walkthrough, survey readiness. It's concentrated off-site, away from everything you do day-to-day training to help you gain the knowledge you need to get to be competent in your workforce. Get involved with ASHE, contact the education team. As I said, if you want to contribute, provide insight at ASHEeducation@AHA.org. If you believe you're a subject matter expert or you want to contribute to that, please feel free. They're looking for people to help. We want to, in the future, Jonathan, point out someone else to say, hey, they helped me with this, correct? You looking?
If I may, real quick.
Yes.
Folks, I'm not any smarter than any person sitting in this room. I sit where I sit because I took that opportunity, period. Get engaged. Take the opportunity. You are just, I almost guarantee you, everybody in here is smarter than I is, come on. That's something. I'm just an old country farm boy, honestly.
Go ahead.
I've gotten where I am because I took the opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dan. I can speak from the vendor side. I just celebrated my 28th anniversary with ASHE. I was new to the industry. I sold medical device sales. I came in with Siemens on the facility side. I knew nothing about it, but somebody within ASHE said, you should join it, and I did. I read HFM every month. I still get the print version. But that's how I know it. That's how I can go and talk to each of you about the topics. That's what got me interested in this whole ventilation management, because as a vendor, I've been a member, so if there's any vendors behind me or in the room, that's what I always encourage when I go to our field offices, for the vendors as well. Become a member of ASHE, become a member of GASHE, but also become a member of ASHE.
Thank you. Thank you. And you'll be surprised at I mean, yes, we're all in Georgia right now talking about it, but talking to someone from like North Dakota that's going through the same struggles and issues you're going through, and the perspectives that they have, and you have, bringing that together, how many issues you can resolve. Join ASHE today. Here's the link to join ASHE as they're speaking to, and I appreciate that input. ASHE.org/join. And I want to thank everyone at ASHE. I want to thank Terry Bowen, Terry Parrish, and Kelly for inviting me today. I really appreciate it. I'm so proud of this chapter being a platinum elite chapter, recognizes that, the benefits that come with that. I also provide benefits. If many of you are interested in your first time taking the CHC or CHFM and you're a member of ASHE, please contact me. I will get you a voucher so you can try to take that test, because our goal is to get as many people certified as possible. And I have cards too to hand out if you want to contact me to gain a voucher to try those tests. Here is my QR, last thing, here, I'm gonna leave this up. My QR code, I need you to fill out that survey so that I can get you a copy of that free introduction to healthcare facilities management, the electronic copy, if you're interested. Thank you so much, I appreciate this moment.
Thank you.